What is good, Neo family? It's your boy Ray-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Neo and why I'm extremely bullish for the somewhat near-term and long-term futures, despite it being in the red right now. I'm going to talk about why the overall market is so red today and what this has to do with Neo. I'm going to talk about the latest big pieces of news and updates that just came out for Neo as well that involve the battery pack that are very, very awesome. They make me very, very bullish. I'm also going to end this video with another bullish piece of news that just came out on Neo's Twitter page. But before I do get started and talk about Neo's Twitter and the big pieces of news and why I'm super bullish for Neo, I do have to mention, first off, I'm not a financial legal or taxation expert, so I don't take this as financial legal or taxation advice. Everything in this video is solely for entertainment purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. And the last thing I want to say, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link in my description. If you guys do sign up for Moomoo, you're going to get 5 free stocks. Just use the link below. You're going to get 5 free stocks worth up to $3,500 each. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Neo from the one-day chart, we dropped to $39.10 a share. We ran up to about $40 flat and then dropped again, kind of trading back and forth. We did close at $39.99, showing that we do have support at around $39.99, or at least really close to 40. That's a very good sign for Neo. We are a little bit down 3.45%. However, everything in the market is in the red, from Tesla to AMC to GameStop to Shiba Inu to Bitcoin to the S&P to the Nasdaq. Everything is in the red. I mean, specifically look at the Nasdaq. You can see that it's down over 2.25%. Everything took a beating today because of the big piece of news that just came out. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the thing, but I'm going to let you guys know that there is a variant of it, a South African variant that just came out, and this is leading to a lot of concerns. And obviously, the market tends to have very emotional responses to things like this. And once again, I'm not going to say the name of it because it can affect the YouTube algorithm, but you guys remember the thing from 2020? There's a new variant of it from South Africa. It just came out. It's very concerning. It is leading to potential travel bans and travel restrictions, which did lead to a very negative response for the overall market. It states right over here, according to investors.com, that the Dow Jones, it dives down 900 points because of the fears associated with this. People are very emotional because of this new thing that just came out. Now, I do want you guys to know that there tends to be very emotional responses to news like this in this market. And even though that happens, we tend to see very good recoveries quickly. So I do want you guys to know that people are taking in what just came out, and they started selling shares that were very afraid. And there is fear, uncertainty, and doubt that played a big role. So it's not necessarily Neo's fault. Now, despite that, Neo did not dip down to 20. It didn't dip down to 28. It didn't dip down to 35. We closed at 39.99, which is still a pretty good sign. If we bring up some Bolingers, we can see that there was quite a bit of volatility today. We touched the upper band and lower band many times. We did have one big run up to about 40.34 before we closed at 39.99. But if I do look at this from a much longer perspective, while looking at the MACD and the RSI perspectives, we can see that it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Because if I zoom out of the chart, you could see we were at $55 just a couple of months ago, and since then we've been on a bit of a downward trend. But I do think we're going to see a very good reversal if you look at this right over here. Neo had that bottom right here at $37. We ran all the way up to about 43, and since then we dropped a little bit, and we currently are at 39.99. The MACD has not crossed with the 9-day moving average, meaning we could see some more green, or at least strength, to stop us from dropping. The RSI is at 47.04, showing more and more strength. That's a very good sign for Neo. However, I do want you guys to know that this is not Neo's fault. This is no one's fault. Things like this and pieces of news such as what happened did cause the market to dip, and this could continue into next week. If that does happen, I wouldn't be surprised if this trades sideways, but overall, I do think that we are on a bullish trend. We should continue to see some upside, and even if we do trade a little sideways for a week, remember, we're getting closer and closer to December 18th. The big day is almost here. We're just under 4 weeks away. Neo is going to have their notorious Neo Day very soon. That's going to be absolutely awesome in my opinion, and it makes me very excited for what Neo has to offer. They have some big news, big updates, and big news involving their expansion. With that said, guys, before I talk about what I think is going to happen for the very near term, let's get on with what on earth the news is saying before I talk about Neo. So first off, I want to talk about this piece of news right here. It's called Nike Asia, or if I didn't say that right, I apologize. It states that the Chinese EV maker NIO is going to expand into five new European countries. Let's go, guys. They're strengthening their band. They're getting lots and lots and lots of exposure overseas. And we know many of the countries include, I believe, Norway, Germany, and maybe even Denmark as well. But, anyways, we're going to find out more details most likely in 2022 or even by Neo Day. And that's when I do expect them to announce something. We are going to have many, many updates under ET7, the new deliveries. Everything is going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm very excited. And so if you are holding Neo right now, remember they're barely in the expansion process. They're barely expanding right now and they aren't even at their full peak yet. So that makes me very bullish and excited for the somewhat near term and long term futures. I think it's going to be awesome. It also states right over here that Neo's 150 kilowatt solid state battery pack will actually be a semi SSB battery. That's another good piece of news out there. We're talking about solid state cells in 2022, and no one thought that right away. And that's led to a lot of people thinking that the semi state or the semi solid state battery pack is going to be interesting, very, very interesting. Now, a lot of people say that it does not make too much sense, but that, in my opinion, would be pretty good news. It does have a pretty high or at least moderate level of energy density, and that could actually help them improve their, I would say, ranges, but it's not necessarily confirmed right now. So we don't know exactly what this is going to lead to just yet. But right now, it's not looking like bad or great news. We're going to just see. But that does make me excited if they do have some big updates coming because of that. Now, another huge update that just came out is it states that Just Auto states that Neo stations have signed an agreement with Shell. Neo now has an agreement with Shell. Very, very big piece of news. Right over here, there's going to be a partnership with Shell, which includes 100 battery swapping stations in China by 2025. And they're going to operate pilot stations in Europe as well in 2022. Very, very awesome news for Neo investors. They are now working with Shell's charging network in Europe to become available to users for Neo. Absolutely historical piece of news. They are now working with Shell to improve their business model, get more exposure, and improve their battery swap technologies. Now, it states right here NEO is developing a co branded network of charging solutions with Shell. Once again, a big piece of news. Imagine you go to a Shell gas station and they allow you to charge Neo cars over there. I mean, there's no telling what this is going to mean. I'm just putting it out there, but for the long term future, I think this is a very bullish piece of news, especially accompanied by expansion to Europe. Absolutely awesome. So I want to end this video by talking about this right over here. Neo put on their Twitter that they have a worry free service package system that allows people to service people's cars conveniently and easily. Neo is going to come to you if you have any service needs. Absolutely bullish piece of news. Neo is now expanding their business, improving their battery packs. We're talking about a co partnership with Shell, and now they're working to improve fundamentals by helping Neo come to its people and improve and fix the cars. I mean, I don't know what else to say, guys. These are very bullish catalysts for the somewhat near term and long term futures for this company. I do see this thing having a big run up leading up to Neo Day. And tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised about what's going to happen. I'm not quite sure what the whole new variant of the thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. The 2020 situation is there's still some concerns and fears over the new variants, but I do want to put it out there. Despite what happens, despite if we trade a little bit sideways, we are in a bit of a bullish cycle, which means we could continue to run up a little bit if the market allows us to. And on top of that, I believe we're going to see a lot of upside potential leading up to December 18th. It's going to be absolutely huge. I think for next year, we're going to see another big move, and I'm super, super hyped and excited. With that said and done, guys, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Neo to the moon. Peace out.